Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about AI Space Puzzle. This is a very cool little cooperative, limited communication game. It's such a great time to be a fan of limited communication co-ops. I mean, Hanabi got it kicked off years ago, and now we're getting dozens of great ones every year because it's such a great idea. It's such a great way to fight the fundamental problem of co-ops, the alpha gamer who tries to lord over everybody. Well, if everybody can't talk, only except with special rules, co-ops become very, very cool. Because you still have to work together, you just have to find interesting ways to do it. And this has got to be one of the most clever approaches to limited communication I've ever seen. Why? Because we are on a spaceship. We're a bunch of astronauts. Well, actually, most of the players are astronauts on the spaceship. One player is the AI running the station, and the AI has malfunctioned. It can no longer sing Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do properly. And so the AI player knows what must be done. They've got a secret card hidden behind a shield that says these color astronauts have to be in these spaces with these tools. And if you can do that, we can fix the problem and we won't die in the cold vacuum of space or the hot vacuum of space, depending on how you want to look at it. But the AI can't communicate. Can't say, hey, blue astronaut, take the number 3 die and the yellow key and go to that space. You can't do it. So what do? Well, as part of setup for whichever mission you're playing, and like, the Crew, which was, a really cool limited communication cooperative trick-taking game. It came with a whole ton of missions that kind of tell a story. This thing does the same. There's a whole different bunch of missions. And the mission parameters you've got when you're playing say, well, pick a card. So you can play the same mission over and over again because you'll always have a different target card of what you're trying to do. The mission parameters will say, what icons, taken from a big collection of chits, can you use to speak? And so like in this one, this is the first one, so it's an easy one. You have a lot of different icons, but you'll notice no icons referring to color. So this is a really easy one. They get very hard because the AI player can't speak at all, can only take the tokens they've got. Their mission says, how many can you play in a certain turn? Oh, I can only play, I have a lot of different tokens, but I can only play 3 at a time. And we only have 10 turns to do this before time runs out. Right, so what 3 random icons am I going to put out there trying to communicate to the human players? Right, you've got to stand there with this, you've got to stand there with that, you've got to stand there with the other. And so basically what you're doing is you're creating your own pictographic language using symbols like an X and an arrow and a magnifying glass and colors and symbols and all kinds of stuff. You could lay these things out next to each other to try to recreate the randomly generated board we're in, and hopefully they will intuit, oh, he's talking about the northeast, the northwest, and the southeast space. He wants us to be in those 4 corners. Okay, well, who's going to go where? Oh, he didn't use any color. Right, because he can only play 3. But the thing is, once the human players are done and trying to interpret what the AI player did, the AI player got to hear everything the humans talked about, and then they get to say, okay, well, now I'll use my same tokens and try to tell you something else. Okay, all right, that was good actually, but they're in the wrong space. So I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to represent the things that are on the space they're on and the arrow, and I'm going to point the arrow to the right to say the person in this space has to go to the right. And now hopefully they'll understand that because I can't verbalize it. I just have to come up with a way to communicate it with a bunch of symbols. And then they've got to figure it out. And we figure it out or we run out of time and we try again. We randomize the board, get a new layout, we get a new thing, and even we can play the same mission again. We can play the same mission 100 times and it'll be different every time. Now, like a lot of these games, the more you play it, players will start to develop, kind of like shorthand. Okay, well, when they lay them this way, when you stack thing on top of thing, last time he did that, he means this. He probably means this again. We'll start to develop a communal language that we can use. And that's great because then that means you go to the harder missions where you've got fewer tokens or special rules that change the way the game works from game to game depending on what mission you're playing. So there is a lot. And this game, both Jen and I were blown away. It is absolutely brilliant. One of the most clever approaches to cooperative limited communication I've ever seen. With just a handful of components, they do so much. And I really liked it a lot. My wife was ready to throw it off a roof. Not because she didn't recognize it was brilliant, but because she really struggled with this. She struggled with trying to communicate in a way that I could understand. When she was the AI, she struggled trying to understand what I mean, it's just like, this game requires really big leaps of logic and luck and trying to figure out, reading between the lines. Okay, literally, all you did was you took the two tiles and you reversed their position. I clearly don't understand what you mean by this, but you are just screaming, why did I do this? It's because of the, and my wife found it very frustrating. Me, I was bouncing off the wall, inventing new ways to communicate. I mean, something that as a species we haven't done for a long time. I absolutely adored it. Now, I should say, though, that in spite of my wife's frustration with it, she said, yeah, I'll keep playing this thing because I want to get better. Because this game is something that will rewire your brain to think in completely different ways. And it's got a lot of just infinite replayability based in with the randomly generated maps and all the different missions and whatnot. It's really one of the smartest designs I have seen. So clever. If you're the right type of player for it, you are going to love it. It's number 11 of the month. AI Space Puzzle. And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.